What do all of these images have in common? They're bold, flashy, mass-produced, and they all fall under the name pop art. But what is pop art? Richard Hamilton, one of its earliest pioneers, gave us a definition that still resonates today. Pop art is popular, transient, expendable, low cost, mass-produced, young, witty, sexy, gimmicky, glamorous, and big business. Popular. Pop art embraced what was already in people's homes and magazines. It was meant to be recognized instantly. Andy Warhol's Campbell's soup cans did just that. By turning a simple grocery store item into art, Warhol challenged the idea that only rare or traditional subjects belonged in galleries. His soup cans weren't exotic. They were everyday, popular, and unmistakable. Transient, meant to reflect the quick turnover of consumer goods and trends. In Real Gold 1950, Eduardo Paolozzi captures that fleeting feeling with a collage of glossy magazine cutouts. These images, celebrities, ads, luxury items, flash by like moments in a commercial break. They're eye-catching but temporary, just like the culture they reflect. Expendable. It mirrored the throwaway culture of mass production. Andy Warhol's Brillo boxes look just like the real thing, cardboard packaging meant to be tossed after use. But these are sculptures, made of wood and stacked like products on a shelf. Warhol turned something disposable into something permanent, forcing us to question what we value and what we're so quick to throw away. Low cost. It reflected the everyday objects and imagery that filled people's lives. In Warhol's dollar bill series, he chose the most basic form of currency, the $1 bill. It wasn't about luxury or rarity. It was about the ordinary, the accessible. By repeating this symbol of small-scale spending, Warhol reminded us that pop art belonged to everyone, not just the elite. Mass-produced. It embraced repetition, reproduction, and the language of the factory. In Warhol's Marilyn Diptych, we see the same image of Marilyn Monroe printed again and again, like a product on an assembly line. Some are bright and bold, others faded and broken. It's not just about celebrity, it's about how fame, like products, can be duplicated, consumed, and eventually worn out. Young. It spoke the language of youth culture. Roy Lichtenstein's Wham! Pulls straight from comic books. The bold lines, bright colors, and explosive action mirror the energy and excitement of youth. It was art that felt fresh, fun, and rebellious, far from the serious traditional styles that came before. Witty. It used humor and irony to reflect on consumer culture. In Hamilton's Just What Is It That Makes Today's Homes So Different, So Appealing, we see a playful scene filled with everyday consumer goods. The muscular man holds a giant lollipop, surrounded by household items, adding a layer of irony to this seemingly perfect domestic space. Hamilton's use of wit invites us to laugh while questioning the superficial allure of modern life and materialism. Sexy. It boldly explored themes of desire and attraction. In Hamilton's pinup, the female figure is fragmented and sexualized, echoing the way women were often portrayed in advertising and media. The work brings attention to the tension between objectification and allure, questioning how sexuality is consumed and represented in popular culture. Gimmicky. It loved taking everyday objects and turning them into playful spectacles. Claes Oldenburg's soft toilet is a perfect example. What's normally hard and utilitarian becomes squishy and absurd. It's not about making a serious statement. It's about grabbing your attention, using humor and surprise to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Oldenburg's work is a visual trick, a gimmick, that makes us see the mundane in a completely new way. Glamorous. It elevated celebrities to icons, turning fame into something shiny and untouchable. In Liz Fifth, Warhol captures Elizabeth Taylor at the height of her stardom. With bold color and screen-printed repetition, he transforms her image into a symbol of beauty, luxury, and Hollywood perfection. Warhol didn't just portray Liz, he branded her, reflecting how pop culture turns people into polished, glamorous products. Lastly, pop art was about big business, not just in theme but in scale. James Rosenquist's F-111 stretches across more than 80 feet, combining images of consumer goods, advertising, and a military fighter jet. It connects war and capitalism, asking us to consider how deeply industry and profit are tied to conflict. The spaghetti, hair dryers, and sleek jet parts aren't just random. They represent how war is packaged and sold, just like any other product. Richard Hamilton didn't just define pop art, he shaped the way we see art in the age of mass media. His words captured a new reality where advertisements, celebrities, and everyday objects could all belong in a gallery. Through this definition, he gave future artists a blueprint for challenging the boundaries between fine art and consumer culture.